Wait, whoa.
You heard me. You heard me. Lead vote getter, Tua Tagovailoa.
It's Mac Jones, and it goes straight to Chandler Jones. And the stiff arm he put on Mac Jones to send that little boy to the ground. That was the biggest Homer Dick type play, and to take that bitch into the end zone.
And someone was saying that Jeff Saturday should be the first interim head coach to be fired.
Let him in, passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. Today we're recapping the NFL Week 15, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights of football. And shit, before we started, we were just talking, this may be the craziest week yet. But as always, go down, like and subscribe, comment some of the takeaways you saw this weekend. And as always, these are your hosts. I'm Paul, Pick 'em, Win 'em, Contra, and I'm joined with...
Bro, you already know it's your boy Kev. Motherfucking injured Savoy, you feel me? I don't know what the fuck happened to my neck. Well, I actually know exactly what happened. But you know your boy still in this motherfucker podcast search out, boys, because this week 15 was crazy. Now, Paul, imagine my ass sitting in my chair over here watching all this crazy ass shit go down, and I have to be stiff as fuck. I'm like this watching the games.
Damn,
Touchdown.
I couldn't do it. Not this week. I couldn't do it this week.
This isn't me, dead ass. Touchdown. Damn, those niggas suck. Because, like, I learned from Saturday I should not be jumping up and down. Saturday had my ass. Oh, my God.
Saturday might have been the craziest day.
If I treated Saturday like Sunday, Paul, I wouldn't be here today. I'd still be like, yeah. So they upgraded me from a brace to a full neck cast.
Sheesh. Well, shit. Well, this is the holiday season. I got some eggnog down the hatch. It goes.
Wait, hold on.
Shit, also drop a comment down below anything you're thankful for this fucking holiday season or so. If you got some Christmas bets, because we got Christmas Day football this week. We don't have to pick this episode, but we definitely will have some bets coming up this week.
Hold on. You know I got the egg.
I see.
The best combination.
Oh, I did mine with whiskey. It's either rum, whiskey, or bourbon, and I chose whiskey. It's a little spicy.
I feel like bourbon is a grown man alcohol. Like if bourbon gonna put some hair on my chest that I can't take. That it would take too long to shave off.
Bourbon and scotch. Those are grown men drinks. Yeah, as Kev's pouring up, before we get into the best games of the week, brought to you by Kev, the Waterboy Games, we gotta talk the Pro Bowl real quick. Have you seen the Pro Bowl? Have you seen the lead vote getters from each conference yet?
The what? The Pro Bowl? The flag? You talking about the flag football game?
The flag football game this year.
You talking about the flag football game?
I'm not gonna lie. I think the flag football game is gonna be more fun than whatever the fuck they did last year, which was that half tackle, half two-hand touch shit they was doing.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. They could keep that shit.
But your leading vote getters on offense. I'll start at QB. Or should I go AF? Should I just announce the AFC team and then the NFC team?
Nah, announce the NFC team, then the AFC team. Because I feel like the NFC team is trash.
So representing the NFC, starting quarterback, these are the lead vote getters from each position. Jalen Hurts at quarterback.
Nice.
McCaffrey at running back. Kyle Juszczyk at fullback, of course.
Hey, fuck that trash ass. That nigga, that nigga sucks. Yeah, I have him in my fantasy, and he gave me exactly 0 points this week.
Hey, he's a fullback, bro. He was probably blocking his ass off, though.
But his position doesn't matter in real life.
He's the best, though. Without doubt, there's only two real fullbacks in the NFL, and they're both in the Pro Bowl, which is good. But then wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, of course. George Kittle at tight end. Offensive tackle, Trent Williams. Guard, Zach Martin.
Nice.
And Jason Kelce at center.
Big dog, Jason Kelce. Yes, sir.
Representing the AFC offense, Tua Tagovailoa. Put some respect on that boy name.
Wait, whoa.
You heard me. Lead vote getter, Tua Tagovailoa.
Over Josh Allen, over Pat Mahomes, over injured Lamar Jackson, over
Who?
motherfucking oh my
Who?
god,
I see them boys on the bench at the start of the game.
over Joe Burrow. You understand us? One of these, there's only 3 spots. Like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes. He had to have taken somebody's spot.
He didn't take no. He's a starter.
Oh wow.
Hold my clipboard, Pat Mahomes. I gotta go ball real quick.
I gotta go.
Then running back Derrick Henry over Nick Chubb, which I understand. I think Nick Chubb's the only other name that I could have respected at AFC running back, or Josh Jacobs.
I would have had Josh Jacobs, me personally.
Eric Ingold, fullback Eric Ingold, another Dolphin, former Raider. Tyreek Hill, wide receiver, another Dolphin.
Nice.
So three of the 4 so far Dolphins. Tight end Travis Kelce, of course. Offensive tackle Taron Armstead, Dolphin, represent. Guard Kevin Zeter, and Creed Humphrey at center.
That's a lot of Dolphins. I had 5 starters.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 starters of the offense out of 8. So half of them coming from Miami. Half the team's coming in on the same plane.
I respect it. That's fine. But you got to be careful now. Remember, the Colts had 8 Pro Bowlers last year.
All defense. I think mostly all defense minus Jonathan Taylor, though. Michael Pittman may have squeaked in. I'm not sure.
Nah.
Defense. Defense, we got I'm just going to run through the defense real quick. NFC, Nick Bosa at defensive end, of course. Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle. Michael Parsons, outside linebacker. Fred Warner, inside linebacker. Rookie, Tyreek Woolen, corner.
Oh, wait. Timeout. Tyreek Woolen got it?
Seattle Seahawks' very own. There's a little spoiler, too. There's a little spoiler. AFC corner, Sauce Gardner, rookie.
Oh.
Kind of cold.
Oh, that's tough.
This flag football game may get kind of spicy.
Who's on the other side of that corner?
They only give out 1 corner for starters.
So he started, so he's over. He got more votes than Jay Alexander.
He got the most votes.
Oh, my God. Dangerous.
Kirby.
Okay, and then Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like Ray Lewis and DeMarcus Ware are like their assistants or something.
I believe so, yeah. It's gonna be fun. Okay. I'm telling you. And it's flag. I feel like you know flag football. It gets a little heated in the moment of the battle.
No, flag football is deadly. This isn't flag football. Didn't do this to my neck, but flag football. I was out there playing advance, and like I was like a problem. Like we was really going back and forth, shit talking. Like there was a couple fights that had to get people got ejected. That shit had me crying.
Free safety, Kirby Joseph. Strong safety, Harrison Smith. On the AFC end, Myles Garrett, defensive end. Defensive tackle, Quentin Williams, even though he got hurt a couple weeks ago on the Jets. Outside linebacker, Matt Judon, having a hell of a year on the Patriots. Inside linebacker, Nick Bolton. He's been holding it down for the Chiefs on the inside linebacker. He kind of gets no love. Sauce Gardner, already called it, starting corner for the AFC. Definitely well-deserved. I think this may be the first time ever both corners starting are going to be rookies for the Pro Bowl teams. Minkah Fitzpatrick at free safety and Derwin James at strong safety. I haven't heard Derwin James' name much other than that when he spine-busted Travis Kelce on that Thursday Night Football, like week 3.
I mean, their defense has been playing a lot better, and like it's been doing well enough to win them games.
No, I'm not saying he shouldn't be in there. I just, for some reason, I feel like I haven't heard much out of him, though. And then special teams, kickers. I'm going to have to start in the AFC just because it's a better special teams. Led by Justin Tucker, kicker. GOAT. Then Ryan Stonehouse, punter. Isaiah Pacheco, rookie, also return special. He's playing return specialist for the Kansas City Chiefs. Justin Hardy is, I don't know what ST is. I'm sorry. And then long snapper Thomas Hennessy. And then NFC, Jason Meyer, Seahawks kicker. Tressway, the punter. Return specialist, Kene Ngannou. ST Chris Boyd, and long snapper Andrew DePola. That's the lead vote getters for all the every position for the Pro Bowl this year.
You know what will always be funny? When Jalen went on Tyreek Hill was like, what I got to be for Jalen Ramsey for? I'm a Pro Bowl. And then Jalen Ramsey clapped back, man, don't be talking all that shit. Man, you got to a Pro Bowl as a kick returner. I was like, oh, disrespectful.
Shit.
But now he's starting, so how you feel?
Yeah, I don't remember saying Jalen Ramsey's name.
I would say Tariq Woolen got over Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I feel like the offense is probably clear cut. Some people may not be happy with the Tua vote, but eat a dick. Then but on the defense, I feel like there's a lot of there's so many good defensive players. It's hard to single out so many at certain positions. But let's get into it, Kev. Kick it off. What's the Waterboy games of the week this week?
What's the records, man?
Oh, you want to hear the records? We tied. We both went 8-7. So our weekly record is now I'm in the lead 7 to your 6, 2 ties on the year. The yearly record I'm 108, 95 and 2. You're 113, 90 and 2. You have a 5-game lead still. Locks, we didn't. Your locks, you went 2-1. You hit the Bengals and Bills. You missed on the Cowboys. Dogs, we both went 0-1. I had the Titans. You had the Patriots. And then I went 1-2 on the locks. I missed on the Cowboys and Commies, but I hit on the Vikings. Best bets. I had one of my best weeks yet. Went 5-2-1. Once again, hit on every single over/under bet. I may just start just fucking. I've yet to miss. I might just have to just lean into something, so unmarked territory type shit. I haven't missed yet on them.
I feel that. What's it called? There was like there's just certain bets I feel like certain people are good at. Like the Sports Gambling Podcast. They was hitting on first touchdown bets. I was like, that's crazy. Like, there's just some bets that people are really good at hitting.
Big odds, too, on those first touchdown ones.
Nigga called Gainwell for a first touchdown on the Eagles. And I thought that was insane because I looked at his stats. I was like, he's only scored 2 touchdowns this season. Like, how'd you know that was going to be one of them?
Man, those are always the best ones to hit. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie. I got hold a couple times this week. I'm not going to say nothing, though. Fuck the Ravens. But where's my shit at?
Just one.
Waterboys week. Waterboys games of the weeks are pretty insane when you think about it, because there's so much shit that went down. The Commanders getting hoed.
Very hoed. On prime time.
The Bengals coming back. The Chargers making motherfucking moves. The motherfucking, you could even say the Cardinals and Broncos game was good.
Hey, Brent Rife
not good to watch. It was not good to watch, but it was close. The Chiefs and Texans went to overtime.
There's one game in particular I think stands above all.
Nah, dead ass. So we got to start off with it. So we got to talk. We got to go fly into Indianapolis, right? No, Minnesota. That game was in Indy. It was in Minnesota. So we gonna fly all the way into Minnesota, Paul. So in the words of Jerry, I put the game on mute. 33-0 in the first half. How did you figure out a way to fuck this shit up? I didn't understand. But the Minnesota Vikings had the greatest comeback of all time, coming back 33 points to win in overtime 39-36. And this bitch almost tied. So, right. Paul, man, this game was insane. This game was literally nuts. I'm looking at the scoring summary right now. Like, there was nothing but horseshoes for the entire first half. And they were putting it on him. Jonathan Taylor was having a great game before he got hurt. Motherfucking defense was balling. Motherfucking Kirk Cousins looked like a kid. Like, bro, how'd you enjoy this game?
Bro, so one of the big things in this game was I felt like the Colts coming out 33-0, right? This is the epitome of their season. 33-0, still find a way to lose. And this is the epitome of the Vikings this year. You're down 33-0, but you gotta still find a way to fucking win. And first half, those 2 picks by Kirk Cousins, both on Jalen Reagor. I saw that someone broke down the tape on Twitter. Shout out, I can't remember what account it was. Jalen Reagor goes for like a little curl route, but then he stops in his spot, and for whatever reason, he moves over like a yard or 2 to the right. Kirk Cousins puts the fucking heater right where he was supposed to be, and it goes right to the corner because Rieger's out of position. And then that was the pick six. And then the other one was a deep shot crossing route to Rieger. That was like a 60-yard throw or whatever. The other deep interception. And Rieger stops on the route when he was supposed to be all like he doesn't think the ball's coming to him, so he just stops. And it's just like that was the same person drafted over Justin Jefferson by the Eagles. And like now he's on the Vikings. It's just like this, it's insane to look at. So I can't even throw those interceptions on Kirk. I thought he was having a great game. And the Colts defense, like it wasn't like Matt Ryan was balling. It was the defense, special teams, a block punt, touchdown. Like, and then all of a sudden, once the Vikings were like, all right, no more bullshit. Let's just score points now. The Colts is once Matt Ryan gets the ball in his hands, what's the one thing he can't do? Score fucking points. So it was. I still can't. It still doesn't make sense how they did it, but wow, the greatest comeback ever, and wow.
I looked at it as the Colts defense was winning this game 100% for them. These motherfuckers had so much pressure on Kirk Cousins it didn't make any sense. They got 7 sacks this game. This shit was insane. Motherfucking but you put it best. The Matt Ryan couldn't do shit. He had 182 yards, 19 for 33, and 1 touchdown. No picks. And you couldn't put up no points.
He's Mr. Checkdown. So, Kirk Cousins, though, back-to-back weeks throwing up 400-plus yards. Like, I think the last time someone did this was Big Ben, like 5 years, and we don't see 400-plus. Or Joe Burrow, I think, maybe did it last year. I can't remember. But, like, this is – hell, if you had him in fantasy, what a week to have him.
4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. And then KJ Osborne and Justin Jefferson 8. Dalvin Cook 8. Like, it was like the Vikings' whole offense was just insane.
I had to choose between – I was like, I gotta get rid of Quez Watkins. I gotta find a receiver on this waiver wise. I looked at Scrawny Neck, Tutu Atwell, and KJ Osborne. There was 2 more, and then KJ Osborne. I was so upset with my choices, I closed that. And I'm watching this man KJ Osborne just eat free, and that shit hurt my heart. My boy had a fucking career day with 157 yards, 10 receptions, and 1 touchdown. Like, and 1 he broke for 63 yards.
Yeah. Leading receivers.
This game was literally nuts. Even the overtime period was nuts.
And someone was saying that Jeff Saturday should be the first interim head coach to be fired. I was like, God damn.
I fucking cried. That might have been the most disrespectful shit I ever heard, man. But we can talk about this game literally forever. Like, this game almost tied because even in OT they couldn't get that going their way. Well, they scored they scored the last field goal with 7 seconds left.
Shit. Yeah. But Colts are dead. Vikings, maybe God's on their side this year. Like, there's nothing else I can explain for that comeback. They have plenty of comebacks this year, but this one definitely takes the cake. It's the greatest of all time. It's the biggest of all time, post or regular season.
Oh, yeah. But the play that stood out to me was when they went for it on the Colts went for it on 4th, and then Dalvin Cook takes it straight down, motherfucker. Because Matt Ryan got stopped at the I want to say they went for a quarterback sneak. Matt Ryan got stopped. And then Dalvin Cook just took that bitch all the way down the next play, 64 yards for the touchdown. I think that was the point when I was like, this might be history.
They did it.
It was insane. I'm not going to lie to you. This game could be talked about as an episode on its own. Like, no cap. But let's get on to the next one, man. I got 2 more for you, homie. So, if that was the greatest play, and if that was the greatest comeback in history, let's talk about the dumbest plays in history. And we got the motherfucking Raiders versus the Patriots. And I thought the Patriots had this game locked up. I want to say I dozed off for a little bit. And I came back, I woke up, and this shit was tied. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I wake up and I see this motherfucking lateral. I see Rashard Stevenson. I'm thinking like, oh, he just ran in the field goal range. He got this. No, oh, look, literally, it's the play that's on my TV right now. motherfucker. I just started.
But there was no time left. It was either go for a Hail Mary, try to do some crazy play, or just knee it and go to overtime. And they kind of chose none of it.
And this mother, I'm fucking crying. But like, we could talk about that play and how stupid and boneheaded it was because Jacoby Myers, shit was insane because Jacoby Myers gets the ball. And I'm thinking, like, out of bounds is right there. Just run out of bounds. Like, what's making you think this is working? And this motherfucker chucks his bitch to Mac Jones and it goes straight, attempts to chuck his bitch to Mac Jones and it goes straight to Chandler Jones. And the stiff arm he put on Mac Jones to send that little boy to the ground, that was the biggest hold my dick type play, and to take that bitch into the end zone was insane. I just know Bill Belichick was pissed. I mean, pissed.
And Mac Jones is telling Jacoby Myers, go down. But it's Jacoby Myers, I guess, just didn't get the memo. And he tried to do that. It was like a whole 5 to 8 yards short of Mac Jones. It went right to Chandler Jones. And yeah, I know Bill Belichick definitely let Jacoby Myers know something in that locker room because that definitely costed the game. He could have went to overtime. But even in overtime, Mac Jones ended the game with, what, like 120 yards or 100? Like, he's been looking terrible. Derek Carr, I know he threw an interception, but he at least was making drives happen. And he was able to score points. But the Bill Belichick, great defense, great special teams, a good run game. They were able to get points up. But this I thought maybe the Patriots could squeak into the playoffs and do something with it. But this team with Mac Jones at the helm, they're just kind of another team that they're not doing nothing. And another week, the Raiders were dead a couple weeks ago. Now they're 6-8, and I think they're scrapping and maybe making the playoff push. They got to win out for that hope.
Nah, they did the same thing they did last year. They got Devontae Adams, but if this team continues to play well, they can do whatever. They can control their destiny. But I look at it like this is the biggest thing on every show and every play and every podcast and every show and every NFL show right now is that they're talking about this is our first time seeing the Patriots play so careless. Like, even before that play, they got the block punt. They got the block punt for the field goal.
For halftime.
And then I can't remember why, but why the Raiders have the ball, even get the ball back in the fourth quarter. Like, the Patriots, the back with 37 seconds left to get the touchdown. Do you think it was a catch?
No, but
I'm not
like the Patriots.
It wasn't a catch until they showed, because like it's crazy. Like I can't. They made it wasn't a catch to me until when I saw the upper angle. But there's a picture. You seen the picture on Twitter?
Right, you've seen technology, bro. All that shit is doctored.
Nah, on Pat McAfee show, there's a picture, like, because I was looking, like, because they made the best point ever. They was like, why the fuck are we showing this hard-ass angle when there's literally a cameraman taking pictures right there? But there was a picture of the shoe, and it's, like, so close, Paul. I mean, like, because there was no white that came up, and, like, it's, like, the tip of his shoe is black, so it's just, like, right there on the line. And I think it's a catch, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a catch. It was a catch.
I'll give it to him because I don't care. I like when the Patriots lose. So like, the more the better.
The more the better. But that shit was fucking insane to even be in that position. The Keelan Cole made a hell of a play. A lot of people are gonna say your foot wasn't in bounds. I will. I'm probably the minority. But this game was insane, and we never seen a Patriots team just beat themselves like that.
It's a new era, new quarterbacks, new regimens.
I'm crying, but hey, man, that Raiders Patriots game was insane. And lastly, man, I really can talk so many games. Like the Chiefs and Texans went into overtime. Why? Pat Mahomes had a great game, and they still motherfucking had to go to OT. But I gotta talk the motherfucking one more primetime game, and we gotta talk the Commies versus the Giants. And it's crazy that this made it into the Water Boys games of the week because I hated this game they played the first time.
And then a tie.
But the refs, man, I mean, you can definitely put it on the Giants defense. Kayvon Thibodeau, monster, terrorized them boys all game. Started off the game getting a fucking what was it, a strip sack, and a strip sack, and turned that bitch into a touchdown. Monster,
Early.
animal, beast, tyrant, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to be on this. You don't want to be on playing defense while he's. You don't want to be playing offense while he's playing defense. Straight up. But the Giants made this a game, and they got blessed. They got blessed. The refs, they got blessed because that was definitely the pass interference on the last play. And then what about the fucking play with Scary Terry that they called the illegal formation because his foot wasn't on the line?
And he says in the video footage backing it up where you see him clearly go up there, look at the referee, and the referee tells him, "Oh, you can move up a yard, like you have space." So then gives him the thumbs up, and then the ref is holding on to that flag, waiting for the play to be called. And the moment they hike it, then he throws the flag on Terry McLaurin, and it's like he literally just told him he's fine, you're good. Like this is just, even if I don't believe games are rigged and scripted like some people do, but this is giving people a reason to believe that certain things like this is possible.
You know, it's crazy. I heard the craziest breakdown on Pat McAfee was motherfucking. It was like the NFL claims it taxes on it taxes entertainment, so they saying that they that's one way, and the fact that the refs aren't full time, like they have jobs and they have other well paying jobs outside of this, like lawyers and shit like that. So like a lot of people can, and then especially now that sports betting is getting into the game, where like literally money is millions and millions of dollars being spent every week on these games. It's looking kind of rigged, man.
Yeah, and as sports gambling is getting bigger, I feel like because even UFC judging, boxing judging, NFL officiating, all this is a bigger scope because now there's millions to trillions of dollars involved on it. It's not just watching it on your TV in your living room and getting upset your team loses that week.
Yeah, no more just bragging rights. Like nah, everything matters.
But with this game, what I saw was both offense. Like Saquon Barkley had a decent game. I didn't think he would do anything remotely what he did against his defense, but I felt like if Kayvon Thibodeau doesn't get that strip sack, fumble touchdown, and like, because those was all defense, like no offense was really doing shit. So it was like that one touchdown strip sack was big in the end of this game, and then the officiating towards the end of the game is even bigger. But it was like neither offense really did shit all game long.
Facts. And they tried to do something to try to bring it back down, but motherfucking the refs, like that's all I could think about because like this game was such a good game, and the commies had it. I really feel like the commies had it in their bag. All they had to do was just score that last touchdown, which they did, but they got taken back.
Yeah, and it's big because now I think the Cowboys clinched playoffs because if Washington would have won, then they wouldn't have clinched it yet because Washington has the tiebreaker or whatever. But now that Washington lost, Cowboys clinched their playoffs for whatever year in a row. Giants are still alive in the seeding. Washington's still alive technically too, though.
That's crazy.
But let's get to the breakdown of the rest of these games. We'll start from Saturday. Browns, Ravens. To talk about a lackluster game of no offenses. 13-3, Browns win. Deshaun Watson throws for a touchdown finally. I think he threw one a couple weeks ago, but he hasn't looked good. I still don't think he looks good. I don't care. He beats the Ravens with Tyler Huntley. I thought Huntley would be able to do more. He couldn't. And I mean, I should have known when Justin Tucker missed his field goal before halftime that this game was never going to be the Ravens' way. Then he gets another one blocked in the second half, and it was just like, damn, Justin Tucker, that all-time leading field goal percentage. I know took a big, like, because you miss one, that's gonna fuck up your percentage, but you miss two. I know that shit dropped a couple points.
Nah, no cap. But motherfucking this game was so shitty, but it just showed that, and I I don't even think you need a good quarterback to beat this Browns team that showed up on Sunday. I think you just don't need to throw a pick in the red zone like they did. He threw it straight up to Denzel Ward.
Straight to him.
Yeah, like come on now. And that's that. Do you see how much money he gets paid? He does this shit. And then you don't have to throw the pick to and I want to say, was it a fumble the next drive? There was like some dumb shit that happened the next drive right after that. I could be thinking about the Bucks, but this Ravens team did not need much to be. They just couldn't get any offense going even slightly.
Yeah, and I know the Bengals are red hot and the Ravens are colder than ever. So I know this is not looking good for playoffs and seeding, and I think they play each other again. So it helps Lamar's case a little bit, I think, because Ravens suck without him, but also the Browns paid their quarterback so much money. It's been shitty. Cardinals, same boat. The Broncos in the same boat, and I think I might be, if I'm a GM, I'm a little hesitant to pay anybody that much money at this point. The way everyone's producing, that got paid that much money.
You look at the Colts, the boys paid everybody, and nobody ain't seen the playoffs not once.
Yeah. Then Saturday Night Football, the Bills beating the Dolphins 32-29. Close ass game, good ass game. I'm not upset with this L. It was a good game. I would have been upset if we got blown out, looked like some bitches after talking so much shit. But I feel like we showed up. I feel like our defense has yet to show up all year. We've been allowing, I think, like the top 5 most points per game. So, like, I mean, 29 points should be good enough to beat a lot of teams. But the Bills, sometimes you got to put up 30.
So that's real shit, man. I mean, I was watching this game and I was just like in awe for a second to be like, hey, Jalen Waddle's really that nice. Like the way that Tua is really just like, I understand why he's number one in the votes because he's gonna get he's gonna hit his dudes, even though this is supposed to be the week that everybody counted him out. He's the warm weather quarterback. They're playing in the snow. Like this shit was not
We
supposed
got
to be
bad second half too. It was real windy and snowy.
terrible. I know that fucking game felt. I know that fucking shit felt like a rock, but Tua held it down. And what got me was the fact that you guys were down, and literally, it felt like in a blink of an eye, you guys were up. You guys were up.
Coming out of half.
I was like, when the fuck did they score the second touchdown? But sometimes you need a miracle, man, and the Bills got exactly what they need. Oh, he only had 234. That's crazy. Oh, Raheem Morstead did have a couple big ass runs.
Yeah, the run game was actually looking pretty good in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Tyreek Hill 69. Jalen Waddle 114. Like, you guys did your thing. How do you feel about your team now? Because now, like, the Bills kind of have the AFC East locked up, don't they?
I kind of, yeah, they do. They locked it. 4 straight playoff berth is locked in. I kind of like it a little bit because maybe we had the chip on our shoulder a little too much. We're too hot going before playoff, and now we got to beat the Patriots, Packers, and Jets to round out the season. And all 3 games are definitely winnable. And I just feel like this was probably our toughest stretch of games right here. It's okay to lose these games as long as we're still the same team going forward. Because, like I said, we should have. This is another game where it wasn't like we got blown out at any point. Like next time we play them, we might win 32-29 ourselves. Like it's just these have been close ass games, and if we would have got blown out, I would have got worried. But these are like I'm okay with losing by 3 points against the Super Bowl favorite in their home field with the snow on their side, everything going their way. It doesn't scare me going if I have to see them in the playoffs.
Hey, I respect the fuck out of y'all because that was a great ass game, and a couple more stops and it goes like I was shocked that Zach Moss got off like he did. No, not Zach Moss.
Jared Cook had a touchdown. Nyheim Hines had a touchdown.
Because they had to be able to run that bitch in the snow.
Yeah. If everything goes well, we'll see them boys again in the playoffs.
There it goes.
On to our next game. We made it this Sunday. The Bears losing at home 20-25 against the 13-1 Eagles. Hurts 3 rushing touchdowns, and they kept explaining it like they have this formation where they just line up on a QB sneak. They put both the running backs behind Jalen Hurts. So then as soon as he hikes it, he has 2 people behind him to push him in while he pushing in. And that's the difference between him. And I said this before. That's the difference between him and Kyler. I think that's the difference between him and Lamar. That's the difference between like I think him and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen are probably the 2 running backs that could go into a pile because they probably bigger than the rest of the motherfuckers in the pile. And have 2 people behind him, like sandwiching him against 300-pound linemen, and there's like having him. He just trained him like another running back, like a power back, basically. And you can't do that with other mobile quarterbacks.
That's fine. And like, yeah, the way they set up those plays are dangerous. The first one he went in untouched. Like he just went straight up the middle. Like, excuse me, part of the Red Seas.
He did throw 2 interceptions, which wasn't like him. The Bears defense did. This was a game. Like it was a big spread, but the Bears held their own. Justin Fields got hurt, came back, scored a touchdown anyway. It kept it a game.
And he did exactly what we said he'd do. He got those motherfucking crazy scrambles. He did what he needed to do. And he hit David Montgomery catch. He's scoring a touchdown. Dangerous.
Scored one. He ran one in and caught one too. So he had. I know. I sat him in fantasy. I wish I didn't. He had a hell of a day. But Fields, like, if they may have just been using him wrong. Like I may have to walk back a lot of I said because there was one play in particular where he threw the touchdown to Pringle and he rolls out and he literally is like about to run it and the safeties come up on him because he's been running the ball all damn day. And then he stops like literally right on the line of scrimmage and just floats it over them onto a wide open Pringle for a touchdown. And I was just like, that's some Patrick Mahomes shit. But like he's that was some real like what else can you do in that situation? Because if you don't pull your safeties up, he's running it for 20 to 25 yards on you anyway.
Nah, that's real shit. That's the difference. But I think the biggest thing about this game was Justin Fields got sacked 6 times. Like
all up the middle too. Hargreave.
And I think that's the biggest difference in this game because and I think that's what makes the Eagles the top like such strong contenders because their defense is relentless. Like a lot of good teams can eat and they can eat like the Vikings can eat on offense, but their defense gave up this many shits. Like a lot of good teams in the league can do one thing, but their defenses aren't gonna hold up for them. Them and the 49ers, like the 49ers defense can eat, but their offense, not that before they got Brock Purdy, wasn't always going to show up for their ass. So this is probably one of the few teams that are really strong on both sides of the ball, like them, the Bills. There's not too many other teams like that.
Hurts had one of his worst days throwing the ball. He still put up 300 yards, only threw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns, but he made up for it with 3 rushing touchdowns. Like this is the shit we were talking about Josh Allen last year. Like, yeah, he might suck one thing in one part of the game, but he made up for it with everything else he's doing.
Did he score those touchdowns in the first quarter?
No, he had them throughout the game.
Not the touchdown, I meant the interceptions.
Yeah, I believe both interceptions are early.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I remember watching this shit like, what the fuck is going on?
Then we got to go to Hate Week, where we saw the Saints beating the Falcons 21-18. A little bit of Andy Dalton, a little bit of Taysom Hill, a little bit of that Saints defense. How do you feel about Desmond Riddler, though?
Taking shots, man. Now, this was definitely a tough game to watch because, like, the defense wanted us to win. They did what they had to do. They forced a fumble late. They got the stop on 4th down. They really gave us opportunities to make something shake. And I was just looking at Desmond Riddler like, if you're gonna do something, this is your chance. But like pretty much like the tale of every motherfucking rookie quarterback in the league right now, that first game is always a tough one. I don't think anybody's really eating like that. He got sacked 4 times. What's it called? It was a great game for Tyler Algier. And like we were running the ball. It was crazy how we were running this bitch on 3rd downs and shit, like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, running that bitch straight up the middle. He's getting them motherfucker. He ended up having 139 yards and a touchdown. So that's a dude. Cordell Patterson had 52 yards and a touchdown. Angry runs only type touchdown. So our offense was not that it wasn't there. Drake London, if it wasn't for the final play, we could have said he had a good game. But our offense wasn't all the way there. But Desmond Riddler, like the pieces in our offense has stood up. I think that we had the right choice earlier by having Marcus Mariota playing and leaving Desmond Riddler on the bench. But he's what we got now, so we got to use it. He had 97 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's not terrible. No, it's pretty tragic. But at least he didn't make mistakes. At least he didn't make critical mistakes late in the game.
Tyler Algier, I think it's getting close to the point where I feel like Alligator. I might have to start talking about free Alligator, like how we were talking about free Pollard, because when Alligator be running, I feel like he's sometimes a little bit. It was this game, and there was a couple other games where he would, because when Cordell Patterson was out, he was holding it down. Run game was still solid, but then Patterson comes back, and I know you're paying him more. Star name, fans love him. Some games he's almost like the Zeke, because I just see Zeke and Pollard. Whereas when Cordell Patterson will have a game where he's non-existent, he doesn't have any touchdowns. He only has like 30, 40 yards. But then there'll be another game where he has 70 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. And it's like, oh, that's the Patterson we know. But like I feel like Alligator has been more consistent, like how Pollard is to Zeke. He's there 24/7, fresher legs. But on the Saints side, Jawan Johnson, the tight end, has been having a hell of a year. 2 touchdowns this game. This is like his multiple 2 touchdown game. He went from like a no-name waiver wire tight end to now like the top 5 tight end in the fantasy football off of his touchdown. Like he's had like in the last 6 weeks like 8 touchdowns or some insane shit. Like he's been rolling, and it seems to be Andy Dalton's favorite target in the red zone.
That's crazy. Let's see if he's available.
But another close game. What do you expect out of Hate Week? Both teams are sitting 5-9 and literally one game behind the Bucks. So like everyone and the Panthers are still 5-9. So everyone's hoping that division for playoffs is still alive.
No, it's crazy for he's number 11 in fantasy. That's insane. But now this game was interesting. This game went like it was supposed to go. Saints versus Falcons game. There's a lot of beef and a lot of back and forth. And I feel like the Saints definitely had us early in the game. They had what was the score at the first half? I want to say it was
14-3, and Saints were up 14-3 at half.
So they have 14-3 at half, and I really feel like they didn't do shit that entire second half. Like our defense really stood up. Andy Dalton kept Andy Dalton very isolated, and all we had to do was just stop him on third down. I feel like there were a lot of short third down plays that we kept giving up, so we ran out. There wasn't much time left, but it comes down to the last drive. I was really in the back of my head thinking like, "Yo, do something, dog! I dare you, do something!" Like we're rolling right now. Do something. Yeah, that boy, Desmond Ridder had a chance, and then Drake London gets the ball, fumbles that motherfucker.
On fourth down too, where I got the first down if he just holds on to it.
Yeah, and like I feel like he was taking a stride, but this is what you gotta learn because last year Trevor Lawrence was in a lot of these situations. It was like, hey man, and I was saying, yo, this is good for him. He has to learn that comebacks are hard in the NFL. And you fast forward to this week, he's figured it out. He's taking his lumps. So I think it was a good game for Desmond Ridder to take his lumps. It would have been nice to beat the Saints, but we'll try it again next year.
Moving to the next game, we had the Detroit Lions, now 7-7, beating the now 7-7 Jets 20-17. The Jets, I hit the under. Never was worried. I knew there was going to be a lot of defensive, a lot of no points going on. But I felt like Detroit's offense was a lot better team. They missed the field goal when they were in field goal range. They went for it on a fourth down after getting in within the goal line. Didn't get it, and no points on that drive. One of the touchdowns for the Jets was a fucking punt return touchdown. Like this is once again the Jets are slowly turning into the AFC's version of the 49ers. Just with a lot like if the Jets had Jimmy G, they would be the 49ers of the AFC. They would be like a 10-win team every year because of how great this defense is, how great this special teams is, how good this coach is, and he's super young. They just really I know Zach Wilson had 300 yards, but there's like 2 or 3 big plays out of Zach Wilson. But for like majority of this game, he wasn't there. Like there was a lot of bad throws, and even if next week when Mike White comes back, I'm pretty sure Mike White's gonna get the starting job, even though Zach Wilson had 300 yards. It wasn't if you're looking at the box score, you'd be like, damn, 300 yards. He had a crazy day. He only had 18 completions. Like there was like 3 or 4 really big plays that made up for the rest of his day. Outside of that, it was not good.
Motherfucking, you hit it, man. This game was a dogfight. the Lions. I think the plays that got me was the touchdown. Was the touchdown scored by off the punt return, took it back 48 yards, and then that touchdown to the tight end. He just ran that bitch all the way down. Like, how long the fucking play was that? Motherfucking 51 yards. 51. That boy took it down 51 yards. Had to have broken at least four to six tackles. Like,
and the Barrios touchdown was like a 45-yarder too. So that's like 100 of his 300 yards came on 2 plays.
Like you said, man, motherfucking. But the Lions are legit, man. They won 6 of the last 7. They might really creep up into the playoffs, especially knowing that the Packers ain't going.
And this was an elite. The reason I took the Jets, I thought the Goff would fold under the elite defense. Not saying he had a great game, but he was able to move on that defense. He didn't throw any interceptions, which is what he's notorious to do. So the Lions, brand new Lions, as they say.
It's dangerous, man. It's motherfucking dangerous out here. The Lions is looking good. They looking pumped up, and they're starting to have some confidence.
Next game, we had the Steelers beating the Panthers. This is one of my dogs. I should have made him my dog of the week. But Trubisky did what he had to do. No interceptions. He kept feeding Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson had a hell of a day. Najee Harris scoring a touchdown. But the Steelers defense, like Sam Darnold had a couple big plays here and there, a driver set up here and there. But other than that, I felt like they held their run game in check, and they just didn't allow the Panthers to do shit for the majority of this game. And Tomlin's above 500 streak is still alive.
But this game didn't make me mad. I remember just looking, like, when I made my take, thinking like, yo, I watched the Falcons literally running down their throat, and all they did was chip. And they were chipping the fuck out of TJ Watt. So like, we were really making it work. So I thought I'm thinking the Panthers, who fucked us up because they had a running back score 3 touchdowns on us. I'm thinking they finna motherfucking run it. Nope. Still,
this could be the worst running performance ever and not ever, but this for this year alone. 16 carries as a team for 21 yards as a team.
That's insane. Sam Darnold, and then are you trying to put the pressure on Sam Darnold? Though he didn't do terrible, it's like, bro, come on now. You can't really be expecting to win games with a one-sided game like this.
Yeah, Panthers' hopes still alive for playoffs. Maybe they could sneak in. They have to win out, but now the performance like that. Both teams. Steelers 500 streak still alive. Panthers going for playoffs still alive. Next game, Jaguars winning in overtime with the pick 6 on Dak Prescott to beat the Cowboys. Who the Cowboys are at one point, I think, up 21-7 at half. Jaguars come out second half balling. And every week, like 2-3 weeks ago, I was talking about how he came back from that injury at halftime, and I started to like Trevor Lawrence a little more. And since then, he's just done a little bit more every fucking week, and they're winning games. And my take of them maybe beating the Titans for in the division is still alive because they're inching closer and closer to the first place in the division. Trevor Lawrence, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 318 yards. ETN, 103 yards rushing. But the big news is Zay Jones really may be a guy. This is his 3rd consecutive week of balling. 6 catches, 109 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's coming off of multiple touchdown games of the past previous weeks as well. Like, Jaguars' offense is looking fucking legit, and their defense is making plays. Pick 6 to win it.
Nah. Their defense is insane. That Rashawn Stevenson. Don't get me wrong. You can't blame the pick 6 on Dak just because Noah Brown did bounce off his hands, and Rashawn Stevenson took that bitch all the way
the
back.
Second of the day too. Both picks.
That game was insane, and like Dak just didn't look great. Threw a lot of touches, threw 2 interceptions, and then it looked like they not bottled up Tony Pollard or nothing, but they didn't let him score, kept him to 75 yards. Zeke 58 yards with a touchdown. Like, the Doug Peterson has this Jaguars team believing, like, on both sides of the ball. And the stat that's been going around is that Trevor Lawrence, I think in the last 6 games, like 15 touchdowns and 1 interception.
showing flashes.
They look at, and I kept asking the game season, Trevor Lawrence suck? He's showing that he's taking his lumps and he's getting better consistently in the league. Because last year, this is the game they lose, but the offense is fine with them. They scored 40 on one of the best defenses in the league right now.
We had 318 yards, 4 touchdowns against the second best pass defense in the NFL, or at least was. And like Dak, one of the biggest things with the Cowboys is they do it to themselves. Like y'all are up 20, like 21-7, and you are still throwing the ball on first and second down. Then all of a sudden, it's fourth quarter. You're 3 minutes left. You're up, and you're still you're taking deep shots. What are you on a third down that you need to run the clock out? And it's an incomplete pass. So now the clock doesn't move. Jaguars don't have to use a timeout, and they get the ball back. And then now they go down and score, and that was led to the score to go to overtime. Like these are just piss poor clock management and poor play calling. And I say it every week where this offense just wants to make Dak throw 40 passes for whatever the fuck reason. Maybe it's because they pay him so much money, but this is what ends up beating them. They're another team that should run the ball like 50 times a game.
Facts.
Other overtime game at 4:00. Texans and Chiefs. Chiefs winning 30-24. And I mean, the Chiefs get the ball in overtime, move it down some, have to punt to give the ball back to the Texans. And I'm sitting there like, oh shit, the Texans really might beat the Chiefs if they come down and score a field goal. I think it was the first or second play by the Texans in overtime. They throw the interception. The Chiefs win it. They scored a touchdown the very next play. The Chiefs did what they had to do in overtime, but I just want to hear how people talk about the Cowboys barely beating the Texans last week, like how they were shitting on the Cowboys, like, oh, y'all barely beat the Texans. It's like, well, this Texans team might be fucking here to play every week because now they just took the Chiefs to overtime.
No cap, this Texans team is ready to ball. You seen what they did against the Cowboys the week before. Now they just take the Chiefs to overtime. And Davis Mills scoring. And it's not even you can say they took their foot off the gas because it felt like a lot of times that I want to say it was like 14, was it 14-7 at halftime?
Yeah, I believe so. It was
13-14.
It was 13-14 Texans winning.
Yeah, it was 13-14 Texans winning. Yeah, and it was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. And they held them boys to 3 in the third, and they scored every quarter. They just didn't score a touchdown the last quarter. They just didn't score an OT. Like, the Texans are pulling up the ball. Like, Damian Pierce didn't even play, I don't think.
Nope, Royce Freeman was the starter.
Mm-hmm. And Davis Mills, he didn't do awesome, but, like, he held it down. And they just did what they had to do.
Yeah, they kept it close with the Chiefs. Chiefs find a way to win, to clinch first in the division. They had a little party afterwards. Next game, the Broncos beating the Cardinals. We're split on this one. I took Brent Rypien. You took Colt McCoy. Brent Rypien, I won't say looked great, but he looked like Russ. I mean, 197 yards, a touchdown, and interception, 21 of 26. Got sacked 7 times. Like the same thing Russ was doing, running for his life and just barely completing shit. Jerry Jeudy had a decent game, but like Latavius Murray, we're clowning him. He had gas in his tank. 24 carries, 130 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know if that says more about Murray or does more about this Cardinals defense. But the Cardinals defense was getting tore up, whereas the Denver Broncos defense shitted all over the Cardinals. They picked off Colt McCoy once, only held him to 78 yards. Then Trace McSorley came in, only had 95 yards and threw 2 interceptions. The Broncos were just all over them.
Hell yeah. I mean, I expected way more defense in this game. I'm not going to lie to you. I was expecting this game to be like a 9-6 type of game. But my dog, Colt McCoy, got knocked out. What quarter was it? Like, he only played,
I think the third, maybe the second.
And then, what's his name? Tom? I can't even. Trace Thorley.
2 interceptions, boy.
He came in and did whatever he could do, but the game was over, man. James Conner couldn't really get nothing going in the run game. D-Hop with 11 targets, 7 receptions. It's going to be tough out here without Kyler, man.
Yeah, and I think Cliff Kingsbury probably keeps his job another year because he'll be able to sit there and say like, "Well, Kyler got hurt, and then even when he did play this and that,
And then D-Hop missed the first 6 games. I can't control that, man.
We got 3 games left. We had the Chargers beating the Titans 17-14. Dicker's field goal puts the Chargers up at the end of the game to win it. And I mean, I said I put Vrabel and Staley in a room together. Vrabel walks out. I was clearly wrong. Staley's the one walking out of that room. But I felt like the Titans could have ran. There was third downs, 3rd and 2s, and 4th and 1s where they were still putting the ball in Tannehill's hands when they had Derrick Henry, the fucking AFC leading running back, Pro Bowl getter, against this porous Chargers run defense, and they were choosing to let Tannehill throw it or do something like. And I just don't understand that. Like, it's 2 yards. Like, just I don't know. But Chargers find a way to win. They're still in the wild card, 8-6. Titans are inching closer to falling to second in the division to the Jaguars if they don't clean it up.
I'm sure as fuck. They really only ran it 21 times with Derrick Henry. I was expecting to see 30.
And there were certain times, it's not like they were losing the game. They were 7-7 at halftime. It was 7-7 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Like, this is a game you can run the ball as much as you want, and they just kind of didn't. And there was big plays where they chose not to, and I think that's why they lost. Like, another team where I felt like poor play calling is a big factor on why they lost.
That's real.
Justin Herbert, they still find a way to win. They're still in the playoffs. We might have to see them in the playoffs. But next game, Bengals winning 34-23 over the Bucks. Bucks were up 17-3 at halftime. People were giving Tom Brady his flowers. People were talking about, oh, the Bucks just make the playoffs. They'll be able to make a push for it. This is Tom Brady. Look at what they're doing. And then Joe Burrow lights up the cigar and says, watch this real quick. And then put them in the dirt.
He says, you know that guy that y'all call the dirt? Yeah, don't do that around me.
Yeah, don't do that. What are they saying in Tampa Bay? Bro, they were chanting the Who Day in Tampa Bay.
I'm crying.
I can hear it through my TV. Joe Burrow, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. The run game was not there. Only 53 yards on 21 carries by the whole team. Joe Mixon, 11 carries, 21 yards. There's no run game. But Tom Brady, he was known to not throw picks. He throws 2 interceptions, where it leads to short field touchdowns by Joe Burrow and company. So, I mean, can't even say like the defense is the reason why they lost. Like when the offense is setting up Joe Burrow for within like 30 yards, 40 yards to score a touchdown.
No cap. And then the offense was doing that, like Tom Brady's picks. I want to say like 4 drives in a row, some bullshit went down. I want to say they threw an interception, got a fumble, and then there was the special teams play where I don't think bro was right. I think this game where
it was right here. It was 17-3 coming out of halftime. 4 plays. They go for it on 4th down. They don't get it. Bengals score a field goal after that. Then 5 plays into that second drive, interception. Bengals score a touchdown. Now it's 12-17. Bucks still winning. 3 plays into that drive, they fumbled the ball. Cincinnati gets it, scores a touchdown. Now they're winning 20-17. Bucks fumble again. Bengals get the ball, score a touchdown, 27-17. Tom Brady throws an interception very next drive. It was this whole stretch in that second half where it was either fumble, interception, go for it on 4th, don't get it. All leading to points.
It's insane, man. And it's just a tale of 2 halves, man. Once Joe Burrow and the boys kick it off, there's nothing you can do about it. T. Higgins had a great game.
Jamar Chase had a touchdown. I think Jamar Chase, Boyd, and Higgins all scored a touchdown.
Nice. But that's gonna be how they come this playoffs, and you got to be ready for it. They might start off slow, but once they make those adjustments, they're always gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
And then our last game was Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers versus Baker Mayfield. Green Bay Packers winning 24-12 against the Rams in Lambeau. It was cold as fuck. It was like 20 degrees. Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good. There was an interception, but it was a piss poor route ran by Lazard, I believe. But Baker Mayfield, I mean, people were hyping up Baker Mayfield and his Rams after that win. People forgot Baker only didn't do shit that whole game except for the fourth quarter, his last 2 drive touchdowns. And in this game, he did nothing. 111 yards for a touchdown and an interception, 5 sacks. Like, I mean, this is the Baker. People were really thinking this may be the successor to Matthew Stafford if he retires. And I'm like, Baker is not it.
Motherfucking, I just saw an Aaron Rodgers that just did not feel like losing, man. He figured something out. And Christian Watson, they was on Christian Watson ass for missing that touchdown But AJ Dillon, he came through playing strong, got hurt, came back in the game, tough. Aaron Rodgers just didn't want to lose. The play calling was well, and then that defense was forcing turnovers.
Yeah, and like Baker looked bad. The running game worked for Green Bay. Packers are still in it technically, and the Rams are just. I think this is the worst team to ever win a Super Bowl, and then to follow up the next year. I don't think there's ever been a team any worse than the Rams.
Has to be the worst team, unless there's a team where everybody retires next year. Everybody.
Yeah, it don't make sense. But that was it. We recapped every single game from Saturday to Monday. It was a whole weekend and a weekday of football. And this has been Paul Pickle of Country, joined by Kev Waterboy Savoy. This has been Totally Blitz Podcast. And y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into the